Spawning from the conclusion of the Second World War, abstract expressionism was an art movement which placed itself in opposition to academic methods of art teaching. In the 1940s and 50s, artists such as Willem de Kooning and Jackson Pollock would achieve great notoriety for their innovative work. Within abstract expressionism, artists channel their anxieties and grievances to the canvas to express their emotions. Most pieces are made spontaneously and without recognizable subject matter, consisting entirely of the relationship between colors. The lingering cultural trauma of World War II would influence the attitudes and stylings of the contemporary art world. Today, I will present two paintings by two artists to demonstrate how emotional meaning can be derived. One of the most famous artists of this movement is Marcus Yakovlevich Rothko. Born in 1903, Rothko would immigrate with his family to the United States to escape anti-Semitic persecution in Tsarist Latvia. Rothko would later receive a scholarship to Yale University. However, he would only attend for 2 years because he was critical of the academic environment. Rothko began to believe that secondary education inhibits critical thinking and creativity, especially in the arts. The summer of 1948 marks the beginning of Rothko's era of multiforms, paintings of organic, non-representational swaths of color, which he viewed as giving life to while painting. Devoid of identifiable subjects, the color relationships alone would speak to emotional values. Rothko designs many of his multiforms to be very large to make the experience of viewing them more intimate and all-encompassing. According to author Edward M. Levine, the total extinction of movement results in an experience of quietude. One notable multiform in this era is No.5 / No.22. This painting features large blurry rectangles of orange, red, and yellow, characteristic of many other multiforms. However, this piece distinguishes itself from other Rothko paintings by the distinctive blood-red stripe crossing the center of the painting, and even still, the slashing marks within that area. The 3 lines are chiseled marks Rothko cut into his painting through his painting's many layers. This violent division may be an abstracted allusion to the slashes and bleeding of the crucifixion of Jesus. Like many artists during and preceding World War II, imagery of Jesus' crucifixion was a symbol for the persecution of Jews. Rothko's choice to incise his layers of paint echo, however abstractly, those earlier crucifixion-related images of Jesus' arms nailed to the timber of the cross, according to author Andrea Papas. It is a reflection of Jewish persecution and the pain and mourning felt by millions. Rothko achieves a unique richness and depth to his paintings by the multiple thick layers he applies to each, and he creates drama and tension by his composition of contrasting colors. If you are only moved by color relationships, then you miss the point. I'm interested in expressing the big emotions: tragedy, ecstasy, doom. Another important figure of the abstract expressionist movement, Joan Mitchell, was influenced by the brightly colored works of European artists like Vincent van Gogh or Claude Monet. Born in Chicago in 1925, Mitchell would obtain a master's degree in fine arts at Smith College, although she too would continue her art education without university. Mitchell would quickly gain the respect of her contemporaries, who would influence her art style and help her present her work at galleries. In the painting Ladybug, a flurry of thick applications of paint are spread across the canvas. Blue and teal paint lies at the top of the painting in horizontal brushstrokes, possibly representing the sky or a lake. Muddy green throughout the painting tends to be more vertical and connects to bright orange or yellow hues. This possibly represents a field of flowers. Additional white blotches applied within the field could represent either recent snowfall or a loss of memory recalling scenes of the past. However, no forms are meaningfully defined. There is a liveliness to the painting, but simultaneously a nervous discontent. Pollock-esque flicks of paint nestle themselves across the painting too. The dripping of paint, too, speaks to a disarray, that not everything was alright. Though this recollection may have been from a calming part of her life, it is now remembered vaguely and soured by the knowledge of what was happening at the time. Joan Mitchell's abstract expressionist works were often made methodically by recalling a memory and channeling her feelings. In an interview with John I. H. Bohr, Mitchell states, "I could certainly never mirror nature. I would like to paint what it leaves with me." Choices of color and composition speak to the way she feels on a personal level. When she begins mentally with nature, her hand translates the impression such places leave her with. This abstracted landscape speaks to the anxiety and worry that captured Mitchell and the American zeitgeist succeeding World War II. Mitchell returns to nature in her mind as an escape from the dread of the real world.